What's up, y'all? I'm out here at the range, as you can see back behind me. Very nice day out here today. We had some of that smoke coming down from Canada earlier this morning, was kind of covered up into the sky, but it's kind of cleared out now. Still smells a little bit like barbecue, but we ain't got no smoke in the air anyway. I believe I've unintentionally turned this into a 223 testing day because I done one already and I got another one here for you. So as you can see, we got the split jelly contraption set up for you again. We got the chrono down on this end, and then down there at 28 yards, I've got my jelly blocks set up. So down here at 28 yards, like I said, as you can see, I've done one test in this stuff so far. I flipped it around though because I feel like it'll be better view to get the disruption in the picture. This was actually another 223 test, so I'll leave some links up above if y'all hadn't seen that. Now, as you can see, we are also staying with the heavy clothing barrier as usual, with the layer of denim, fleece, and 2 layers of cotton t-shirt. And what we're testing on this one is some Hornady Black, and I said 223, but it's actually 5.56, same difference, but the Hornady Black 5.56 NATO. This is their 75 grain interlock loaded round, the HD SBR. So this stuff is actually formulated for between a 10.5 inch and 11.5 inch barrel. You got a muzzle velocity here of 2310, and I believe, if I read correctly, if I'm remembering, they tested this out of an 11.5 inch barrel. Here's your round, just brass cased, as you can see there. Soft point, soft open point, I guess I should say, their interlock projectile. And what I'm going to test these from, first off, is a short barrel like they're designed to do. I've got the AR pistol here, 10.5 inch AR pistol and Palmetto State upper with their Virginia 15 lower, 1 7 twist on this 10.5 inch barrel. Now, let me just save y'all some time before any of y'all run down to the comments about me pulling the pistol brace off of this thing. Just save it. Let me save you some time and some wear on your precious little fingers. I don't care what you think about me pulling the brace off of this. I'm personally not stupid enough to come out here and give the Alphabet Boys video evidence of myself. If you are stupid enough, more power to you. But anyway, that's our 10.5 inch barrel, and then I'm gonna go ahead and run it out of a 16 inch barrel also to see how much performance we might pick up. So we're gonna run them from the AR-14 Angry Joe here again with the 1 7 twist also. But y'all know how it is with 223, 5.56. It's really hard to find a round that doesn't do good in some way or another. Now, these are moving slower than most of what I've tested, but I've got a feeling they're still gonna do really good. But let's get this stuff set up and let's find out. All right, let's see what kind of speeds these things are running. I'm gonna do a 5-round average from each barrel length, starting with this 10.5 inch first. Remember, the box is saving 2310 at the muzzle. And like I said, I'm pretty sure I read on their site that that was through an 11.5 inch barrel. So being an inch shorter, I'd say we're probably gonna be a little bit shy of that, but who knows, stranger things have happened. Well, let's get us a 5-round average. Now, just like always, I've got this thing set to read the muzzle, and then the other 5 I've got are 10 yards, 28 yards, which is where our gel is, and then we've got 50, 75, and 100. Now, this being a 22 cal projectile, we're probably not going to get past the 28. This lab radar tells you straight out the box that when you get to the smaller size calibers like that, the distance greatly decreases. So we might get a couple at 50, but I'm not counting on it. Let's see what happens here. Like I said, we'll do a 5-round average. Maybe we'll get a couple of 50s anyway. 2267. Actually, we got all the way out to 75. It made a big liar out of me. And 2267, a little bit shy, which is about what I figured. 2271. 2263. 2240 and 2229. So as you can see, we didn't get to 75 there. I'm really surprised that it's even reading out to 50, because the previous 223 test I did, I believe one of those was either 75 or 77 grainers. It's really not the weight of it, it's more of the size, and the smaller you get, like I say, you have to get this thing pinpointed in, and I've just got such wooded area that's a lot of noise for it. But anyway, let's check the average and see what we got. All right, so our 5-round average that time from the 10.5 inch was 2,254 feet per second. Extreme spread was 42, and our standard deviation was 18.3. So 2254, again, the box was 2310, so not too far off from that. That seems about right, being that we are an inch shorter than what they tested out of. But let me get this reset and let's see what that 16 inch does for it. All right, let's see what this 16 inch barrel does for it, y'all. I expect this is gonna speed it up right much. I don't care how this is formulated. This is gonna definitely add some speed to it, I believe. Got 25-24. 25-14. 25-11. 25-07. And 25-09, so it definitely sped it up, what, a few hundred feet per second? Let's check the average. You got an average of 25-13, an extreme spread of 18, and a standard deviation of 6.8, so not too bad at all right there. And if you remember on that 10.5, it was 22-54, so you're talking about 259 feet per second faster from the 16-inch barrel, so that sounds about right. On the 10.5 there, as you can see, your extreme spread was 42, and your standard deviation was 18.3. So I expect good stuff from both of these in the gel, regardless of this velocity right here. Well, let me get this stuff set up and y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's back in black jelly time. I'm gonna put one round from each barrel length into the gel, starting with this 10.5 inch first. Y'all see I had to slap my little magnifier. You probably already noticed that when I was doing my velocities. And I don't know why I bothered, because it just looks like a big smear, but let's see what we can do. All right, that should have been a good one. Hopefully I didn't get into them other tracks too bad. Let me go see what I got. All right, it's looking a little messy down there for sure, but it all stayed separated, and I'll give y'all plenty of angles so you can tell what's going on. Looking pretty good down there. Let's see what this 16-inch does for it. I got a feeling this 16-inch is really gonna rock it down there. I think I went really close. I went up under that other one, but I went really close. Let's go see what we got. All right, let's check out what we got down here, y'all. I know it looks a little messy, but everything's separated, and I'll make sure I'll give you a good picture of what happened here. So this one right here on the bottom, that one's actually very clear, completely separate from everything. So that gives you a really good picture. That was the one out of the 16-inch barrel. As you can see, it comes in here, immediate expansion, just like pretty much every 223, 5.56 I've tested so far. Absolute devastating disruption right here. You can see it's all blackened up there just from the energy coming through here, that combustion going on. Nice spiraling looking wound action and disruption through this first block into the second block. Probably, I'm gonna guess about 5-6 inches, something like that, into that second block. And it looks like it's got some really nice expansion on it. And then right up above it, that's the one out of the 10.5 inch. Basically the exact same thing that you're looking at here. Very nice wound channel. Again, very, very nice disruption. Both of those areas of disruption look almost identical. You can't tell any difference in them. You can see it carries on through here. Now, all of that you're looking at, like I say, it looks just like this one. So all of that you're seeing is from this test. There is another test, this big area right here. It starts right about here, and behind that track is the other test that I've done. But all of this, like I say, it's completely separate and in front of that other one. It basically looks just like this 16-inch, except for, as you can see, it goes into the second block here, and this one doesn't have as much penetration. I would say that's in there maybe just a couple of inches into the second block. And then as far as expansion, definitely not near as much as this one, but it is sitting backwards, so it may have tumbled sooner than this one, or maybe this one didn't tumble at all. But either way, not nearly as much expansion from that 10.5 inch. So as far as the penetration on them, the one here out of the 10.5 inch, it went to exactly 18.25 inches. So absolutely picture perfect penetration on that one right there. And then the one out of the 16 inch, it stopped at exactly 21 inches. So again, for me, y'all know how I am, I'll take that all day long. It's going to be a little bit tricky to get you every single angle, but here's a little closer look again on the bottom 16 inch, the top 10.5 inch. Like I say, all that you're looking at there is from this test. The rest of it doesn't start until about right there, and then you can see behind this one is another test. Try to get you in focus here, but as you can see, just fantastic disruption from both of these things. They both carry into the second block, and as you can see, like I was saying, there's the one out of the 10.5 inch, and then on the bottom there's one out of the 16 inch. You can already tell even before I pull them, a big difference in expansion. All right, let's check out these projectiles, y'all. As you can see, a big difference in expansion. This one right here is your 10.5 inch. This one is your 16 inch. And this one right here is basically like a palm tree versus a mushroom there. At the speeds that this stuff is getting and out of the 11.5 inch barrel that they've made it for, you'll get a little bit more than this, but probably not much difference. I'm not sure exactly what kind of expansion that they're saying you should expect. I imagine they're saying you should expect this right here, but obviously I had to go to a 16-inch barrel to get that. Now, do I think this is under expansion? Me personally, no, because a 223 is a 223 or 5.56, whichever one. You still got some nice energy. These things are moving on out still at over 2,000 feet per second, so the expansion is not a huge deal at all. But my only thing is, you know, how much benefit are you getting from an SBR round like this? You know, if I were to run some of the soft points that I've tested out of this 10.5 inch barrel, would I get more like this or would I get more like this? Even if I got at least that, I mean, you're talking about a lot less cost. So I don't know what the other benefits, you know, probably some low flash powder, I'm assuming they're claiming. But like I said, I'm just not sure what kind of benefits you're getting for this kind of performance right here. Maybe I should go back and test some of the soft points that I've tried out of this 10.5 inch barrel just to see what kind of performance we get. But let's weigh them up and see what kind of material we lost. They both started at 75. This one here out of the 16 inch is actually down to 73.4. So it probably lost a little. Well, I know it lost a little because I can see it in the gel. And then the one out of the 10.5 inch is actually 74.0. So less material lost there, I would say. And it does make sense because less lead peeled out of it to get lost. And then as far as the sizes on them, again, we'll do the 16 inch first. You got 5.45, 5.12, and 5.54. So a little bit uneven, but some really nice expansion on that one. And then this one here from the 10.5 inch, you got 4.76. That's going to be the biggest part, and 3.87. So definitely not as much expansion, but again, I wouldn't complain about either one of them if I had to use them. So there you have it, y'all, the Hornady Black 5.56 HD SBR round. That's definitely a mouthful right there. Good performance out of both of these. I mean, it's nothing that blew me away. You know, like I've said plenty of times, 5.56 and 2.23, pretty much of any kind, is going to get the job done. But, you know, the cost is what I get down to when I start nitpicking some of these things. Really, this stuff was like 23 bucks a box. It may be a little cheaper somewhere else, but 22, 23 bucks a box versus a soft point for 10 bucks, you know, half the cost. Now, like I said, I haven't tested the soft points that I have tested out of a 10.5 inch barrel. It's been 16 and I think even 20 inch. So maybe I'll go back and test a couple of the soft points out of this 10.5 inch barrel just to see what kind of performance you get in comparison to something like this. But if I was going to guess, I would say those soft points are going to outperform this as far as speed, as far as expansion, and you may get a little less penetration, which some people will like. But either way, like I said, I'm just nitpicking them here because these things would definitely get the job done. All right, y'all, I'm gonna call it right there for another good 5.56 AR test. I know I probably sound like a broken record every time I test 5.56 or 2.23 from an AR out here, but it's just such a capable little round. I mean, pretty much any of these rounds that you load in an AR, moving 2,500 plus feet per second, 3,000 feet per second, that's gonna do a lot of damage. It doesn't matter what kind of projectiles in it. Now, some of them obviously perform better than others, but at the end of the day, pretty much any 5.56 2.23 coming out of an AR is going to put a hurting on something. But let me know what y'all think about it. Do you think maybe some of the other benefits, as far as, like I said, the low flash powder and stuff like that, is enough to warrant the extra cost? Or do you think just any 5.56 2.23, regardless of the barrel length, is good to go? Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are. If you did enjoy the video, take a second if you would and hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you got your notifications turned on so you get notified when I upload new stuff. Take a second and check out those affiliate links in the video description. Anything you buy anywhere on the site, I get a kickback from them towards the channel, so I really appreciate that. Like I tell y'all every time, I appreciate all my Range Gang members and every single one of y'all for supporting the channel. I got a pretty late start out here today, had a little bit of technical difficulty, so I didn't get but a couple of tests done today, but there were some good ones. Don't worry though, I've got tons of really good stuff headed y'all's way, so be on the lookout. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.